Hi everyone, welcome to this video. To all the Mercedes w124 owners out there, this video might be of interest to you to compare this Continental radio to this really cheap eBay radio. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you guys through the wiring involved and some of the options for installing these types of stereos into our cars. We have a 1986 300E wiring that I'll take you guys through. And this is a bit of a closer look at the eBay radio. And then we'll have the 1990 Mercedes 124 with the Continental radio. So without further ado, I wanted to give a massive welcome to anyone that's new to this channel, and for anyone that's been an OG, welcome back. To begin, we're going to jump in the 300CE, and we're going to have our first look at the Continental Bluetooth radio. So at the time of this video, this unit cost about 300 Australian dollars to get shipped to Australia, and somewhere around the 160 euro for overseas purchase. Quite a nice unit, very sturdy, quite a bit of weight to it, and as we can see, it's got an antenna port here and the universal ISO port over here with a few extra connectors. We'll get into that shortly. Some great feel to the unit. The buttons have a great press. They click in nicely. Definitely feels like a sturdy build and not anything too cheap. Under this flap, this rubber plastic, we've got the USB port, and straight underneath the auxiliary port. A little close-up of the details that were on the box, such as the part numbers and details. And let's go through the included accessories. So we have a Bluetooth microphone. It plugs in with a 3.5mm jack. It's got a hook over style mount, and the microphone itself can be pivoted up and down slightly. Or you're able to utilize the other version, which has a double-sided tape adhesive version, if that's going to be a bit better for you. So the headphone jack plugs into here, and the green plug goes into the back of the head unit. This one here, we're not going to be using today. It's a steering wheel control adapter. You'd plug in the 3.5mm jack again, and you have a key 1 and the ground to get the steering wheel controls going, perhaps on other models. Okay guys, now for anyone that's interested, on Amazon, you'll find this product. This is actually Amazon Germany. So we'll see over here, this is amazon.de. And on this listing, you'll see that it's currently at the time of this video going for about 159 euros, and the shipping was shown here at 50 euros. Now that might be different depending where you live. However, I did find one of these listings on eBay for this head unit a little bit cheaper, so feel free to shop around. Now, at the time when I purchased this head unit for my customer job, it hadn't actually included this full adapter that we see here. So the kit that I had purchased had the 2 ISO adapters and the bare wires. So these Mercedes-specific adapter ends weren't here. They were just the ISO adapters with the loose wiring, so that you had to manually solder into the factory wiring. Now, I'll see if I can just show you guys here. This adapter is what is going to plug into the factory Mercedes speaker wiring plugs. So we'll see here that there's listed a rear right, a left rear, a front right, and a left front. So these corresponding adapters here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, the factory speaker plugs will go out of the head unit and straight into this adapter. So super handy. I wish this was something I'd seen earlier, because it would certainly save soldering in line into the factory wiring. And same for the power connector here. So again, this is the one that goes originally straight back into the original stereo, and this adapter will just let you plug the not only speaker wires straight in, but also the factory Mercedes power plug. So both of these will just make it plug and play, going straight to the ISO to the back of the head unit. So how epic is that? I wish that this is something that I knew that existed earlier, but all good. At least this can help you guys if you're looking at purchasing your Continental unit going forward. And there we have it, the Continental unit with the adapters available. A really awesome looking unit with ISO adapters, Bluetooth, USB playback, radio. Just an awesome upgrade to keep things looking nice and factory. Now we'll switch over to the very cheap eBay radio. So something around about 15 Australian dollars for this unit with Bluetooth, USB, auxiliary, even a memory card reader. Still using the ISO adapters and has 2 sets of RCAs at the back and of course the antenna plug as well. So we will power up both of these units later in the video, but to start off we're going to go through the wiring required to get this stereo installed inside this 1986 300E. To start off, we're going to remove the stereo and unplug all of the speaker and power wires from that stereo. And if we look further inside the cabin of this console area, we'll see these 2 connectors which do control the rear factory speakers. What we do want to do is disconnect them. This will actually give us the ability to wire straight to the back speakers, because the Mercedes setup doesn't have these plugs going straight to the back of the head unit, since the head unit is only a 2-channel, but within the wiring that is how it's split and faded to the rear. So once you've disconnected, those female sockets can be pushed to the back of the cavity. You don't need them anymore, and then now we have the male sections of those adapters, and we'll be able to wire straight into these to get the rear speakers working. So here for the black connector, we'll look at the 124 wiring. The green black goes to the purple black, and the just black goes to the just purple. So that's the negative and positive for the rear right speaker. If we jump over to the white connector, this is going to connect to the rear left speaker. So the Mercedes wiring, we can see a red black, which I've connected to the green black, and then the solid black to the solid green. These 2 speaker connectors were going straight to the back of the original head unit, and connecting our front speaker wiring straight to these will get the front ones going. So the black connector will do the front right, and that was the table of contents, and then the white connector will do the front left speaker. And again, the table of contents for what wire to connect to what. With that one done, we can focus our attention to the main power plug. Getting the wires sorted for the power plug is probably the easiest. We really only need about 3 wires for this head unit. We need the constant power wire, which is the yellow, going to the red-white on the Mercedes side. Then that purple-grey one generally is for the illumination. Then the black-yellow for the accessory switched wiring. And then the brown wire, lucky last, for our earth. Okay, lucky last for the switched 12-volt accessory power for the antenna. This black female connector was unplugged from the original head unit, and then that one went to the blue wire. So that way the blue wire gives the remote turn on anytime the head unit is on. And with that, we're ready to plug in and get the head unit going. Jumping over to the 1990 300CE. Now, this car was a customer job. Previously, someone had cut off all of the connectors, so we'd just gone through and connected all of the aftermarket wiring in place of the previous stereo's aftermarket wiring. Now, all the power wiring was exactly identical to that 1986 124. The antenna 12 volt seemed to have been something done aftermarket. That blue wire certainly not looking factory. For the far right, the left and right wiring colors were identical. So this was for the rear, left and right, same wire colors. The black with the green black for the rear right, and then the black red and the black for the rear left. From here, the major difference was actually for the front speakers. This was where the wiring colors were slightly different. As we can see, we had some browns in the mix for the front. So we can see that the front left had the brown and brown green, and then the front right had the black and brown red. So these are the only changes with the speaker wiring colors in this 1990 300CE. But with that done, it just plugged straight into the ISO connectors, nice and easy, antenna, and off she went. Just check out that orange backlighting. We got a bit of a closer look with the headlights turned on and getting the rest of the illumination going. But for now, here's a bit of a first look at the operation of this unit. Nice, feedback and feel to these buttons, and jumping through the different source, we're able to get to the Bluetooth. So initially when you search on your phone, you'll find that Bluetooth naming, the pin number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you hit pair, after a few moments, you'll get your confirmation that you're connected, and that's the naming of the Bluetooth device. So with that connected, we can jump back. The source button now will reveal this A2DP. This is the Bluetooth mode. Once you're here, you've got that live stream from your phone. So some royalty-free music, we're able to hear this radio for the first time. So this is the stereo in action, guys. We'll see that it has a very nice fluid volume control and a very nice feel to all the buttons. We're able to see here that you can still adjust all of the equalizer settings to some preset ones or do some manual ones as well. So you can jump into the settings like this and adjust the bass manually and the treble and all those functions. With the headlights switched on, now we can see the backlighting behind all the buttons, and the orange color does match all of the remainder of the illumination of the climate control and other areas. So great to see. The USB doesn't light up, but that's okay. Just really awesome to see all the wording and numbering lit up so nicely. And now we can have our first look at the very cheap eBay head unit in action. So we'll be able to see the volume control on the far left, and that also does jump between all the different sources like the tuner, auxiliary, and Bluetooth. And then we'll have all the radio stations with the quick selection buttons down the bottom, memory card reader here, auxiliary over here, and a USB power source over here as well behind that little rubber grommet. So this is the unit in action, guys. We have the Bluetooth auxiliary tuner, very quick jumping between those modes, and very nice and easy adjustment of the volume knob. Here also we have the ability to adjust the bass and treble settings manually, but we also do have the presets as well. So we can jump between the faders, jumping through the preset equalizers. We can go through and do all of those functions that a standard head unit can do just on this retro looking head unit here. So it's really great to see that something so cheap can still be so usable. You know, not too slow, not too laggy, and lots of settings to play around with to your preference. So that, guys, is the cheap eBay unit in action, and hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea if you're looking for a cheaper option. So for this unit, when we first turn the car on, we'll be greeted with a hi, and then jumping straight to the last function that we were in. So in this case, it was the tuner, and I went straight back to playing the last station. Nice. So with the ashtray and center console reinstalled, this is the overall look. Quite nice, a little bit retro looking, and this is in comparison to the Continental, which is still, I would say, understated looking. Also welcomes you to the unit when you first power on, and then jumping to the last mode, in this case was Bluetooth. So not a cheap unit, but a really nice looking unit, quite clean, very minimal, and very functional. When using this unit, you really can feel the difference. You can feel all that extra money that you've spent on this unit. Again, maybe not for everyone, but for those that want a bit of a upgrade on the features, but still looking, you know, period correct, or at least in the style of original. The backlighting is an awesome treat. Definitely going to make things look at home at night time and not flashing in your face with 7,000 different LED colors. And of course, we'll have the retro one here. Again, for those that want it, maybe a cheap one, a retro style looking head unit. Easy to reach buttons, quick shortcut buttons. Very, very nice indeed. So with that in mind, we always want to flick something for good luck. So we're going to flick the retro cheap head unit for good luck. And then we're going to jump to the Continental, flick this one for good luck. And that's it. So guys, hopefully this video has helped you with not only the function of these units, but the installation of these units. Thank you to everyone that's watched this video. Leave your comments below. It's always great to hear from you. Cheers, and see you soon.